Hello everyone, ChipXPy here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a shooter game in Python. So let's get started. This time, as you can see, I have no folders or files in this directory right here, and we're only going to need one file this time, and I'm going to split it. I'm not going to split it into multiple files, I'm only going to keep one file. So we're not even going to need an SRC folder. So let's just make a main.py file. Main.py. Yep, that's all we need. So let's just import Pygame. And if you don't have Pygame installed, you just have to open your terminal, or you can even open your CMD, anything that you want. But I would like to do it on my terminal. So let's just do pip install Pygame. Now it might take some time to install, not much, it'll just take a few seconds, but for me I have already installed it, so it's telling me that requirement is already satisfied. Then we can just clear the terminal and close it. Now we have Pygame imported, then we can define class app, and def init initialize Pygame, and inside this of course we have to initialize Pygame. Then we have to make a screen variable. Screen is equal to Pygame dot display dot set mode, and in this we have to pass in a tuple of width and height. So for me this time width will be 680 and height will be 600. This will be basically the width, and this is just a backend variable. You have to make another backend variable called self.running, and we'll set it to true. This running variable is basically if the game is running or not. So if the game is running, then this variable will be true, and if this becomes false, then the game will stop. Now the window, if it opens, then the name of the window will just be Pygame window. Instead of that, we want it to be something like a shooter game or whatever you want. So let's do Pygame display set caption. Here let's do whatever you want in a string, of course. So I actually want it to be alien apocalypse, so I'll just do that. And this actually won't run right now, the game will crash. And if you're wondering what this arrow and none means, this arrow is just basically a hyphen and a greater than equal to sign. What did I do? Okay, here. Yeah, it's just a hyphen and a greater than equal to. Now this character comes because of a setting in Visual Studio Code. Now I just edited that. You can go into settings right here and search font languages. Over here you can just go in settings.json, and here you can just set it to true instead of none. You can just close this, close settings as well. Then this will come like this, and triple equal to will become this. And if you want to do an equal sign and a greater than, then it comes like this. Sorry for the extra knowledge, I didn't want to give that, but you people are confused. You people might get confused, so just for your knowledge. Now self.running, and this is a backend variable as I mentioned, and we'll set it to true. Now over here let's do a run method, and here let's do a while loop while this game is running. So while it's running, we can check for all the events happening in the current frame. So for event, Pygame event dot get, this basically returns an array, a list basically, and we can do event.type is equal to Pygame quit. Then we can set this self.running variable to false. This will just stop the game, and this Pygame.quit is basically when we click on this button right here. Then let's make another class player. This will be our actual player. So let's do dev init, and over here let's do self.x is equal to x, and self.y is equal to y. Now both x and y are going to give an errors because they are not defined, so let's just define them as parameters. X will be an int, and y will also be an int. Int basically means integer, and we are going to have to pass these variables when we create the layer. Now we can do self.x velocity. This will help in the smooth movement, and we'll set it to 0. And we can just duplicate it, and self.y velocity is also equal to 0. Now let's make a self.image variable, but we don't have any image, so how are you going to make it? Well, it's really easy. It's equal to Pygame.surface. Now this basically returns, or not returns, it basically returns an image of a square. and this we are going to pass a tuple of whatever size we want. So let's do something like 25 and 25, and this image we don't have a color specified to it, so let's just specify color, cell.image, and then dot fill. But we don't know which color, so I'll just write red, and we haven't defined red, so let's go there, let's go to the top, and let's do color settings, and here let's do red is equal to, and if you know the RGB value, it's 255.00, and that's really nice. And of course in this while loop we have to keep displaying or updating the display, but instead of that I have a better idea. Let's do self.update, and this is going to be a function we have to create, and in that we can also update the player and all the bullets. So let's make a move function. Here we'll do self, and we'll do self, that's it. And here we can do keys is equal to pygame dot keys dot get underscore pressed, and if you oh, it's not key, it's key. This basically returns a sequence. A sequence is basically like a list, so we can access all the different values it has. So let's do pygame dot k underscore, let's do a, and if this is true, and I don't need to put brackets, I don't need brackets, but let's just, if keys of this is true, then basically we can do self.xVelocity, and we can set it to, or not set it to, we can just change it. And if it's a, we have to go left, so we have to reduce. So let's just do 0.5, and let's just duplicate this, and instead of a we'll do d, and instead of subtracting we have to add. Okay, I'll forget to press shift, I don't know why. So let's just duplicate this again, and this time we'll do S, and we have to do Y value this time, and S, which means it will go down, so we have to add, but W we have to subtract. So let's just do this as W, and we have to subtract. Yes, this should work. Okay, and here let's do update. Here we'll pass in the screen variable command, and we can specify the type so that we get IntelliSense auto-complete. Here let's do self.x plus equal to self.xVelocity. That's what velocity does. Basically it changes x and y by the velocity. So we have to do self.x is equal to self.xVelocity, and self.y is equal changed by y velocity, and then we have to reduce the y velocity and x velocity as well, right? So let's do multiply equal to 0.5, and let's do that for the y velocity. Then we got the screen just to blit it, right? So screen.blit, we can do self.image, and we can do let's say position, okay? Self.position is equal to pygame.map.vector2, and in this basically we have to pass in a tuple of self.x and self.y. Okay, or actually you don't need this because self.x and y variables will keep changing. So let's do we'll just pass in a tuple self.x minus self.image.getWidth. Let's just type width instead of searching it. So this returns the width, and we'll divide it by 2, so that the image is actually centered, not towards the right bit. So let's do self.y minus self.image.getHeight this time, and by 2. Yes, that's really nice. And here we have to also make this update function, and over here let's just specify that it returns nothing, and let's do def update self, and we have to specify that this also does nothing, here let's do self.player.update, and we have to make the self.player variable. We'll do that, and then we can do pygame.display.update as well. Now we are asking for a screen variable here, so let's just do that. Let's do self.screen, and in this self.player and this self.update we can also use this move function. So let's do self.move. That's nice, but we haven't defined this player, so let's do that. Self.player is equal to player. In this we can pass in something like 50 and 50 for x and y. Now if we run this, let's just close this other terminal. Now it might take some time. Let's see what the errors are. I'm getting some problems. Okay, so I don't need this. It's for the JSON. Let's ignore it. Let's just run it again. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so why isn't it running? Oh, I forgot. We just forgot to make the instance of this app class. Let's just do that. Sorry, my bad. Blend.com. Nice. Now let's do this. Okay, so I don't know why we're getting this error. Let's just fix it. Oh, I forgot to fill the screen every frame. So let's just go into this update. And here we'll do self.screen.fill will be black. And this black is not defined, so let's do that. Let's just duplicate this and let's do black. And here we'll do 0. And let's test it out now. Yes, now if we use WASD we can move. That's the player movement done for now. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.